Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues and we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So that's the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Um, Now, most likely, not a great deal of people gonna watch me because it's the middle of the day, and of course, on weekends busy doing multiple things, so multiple people will probably catch it on the playback. Um, Now, next, what I'm gonna now I see that our friend Keisha entered the chat. Yes, yes, let's follow her advice. First of all, I'm going I'm going to start by thanking all those who have already subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much. I also wish to thank all those who follow me on social media. And also, I wish to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter in your devices. So, what I'm going to ask for you to do the following. If you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it in a playback. Depending how things go, this stream might last 30 minutes to an hour. And as you can see by the thumbnail, the topic for today is how to deal with grief during the holidays. Now, before I get into the subject, there is one thing I would like to address. It has to do with a stream that I actually saw last night on a YouTube creator called Louis Giletto, and he had a stream and we had a panel when he invited various individuals who are mixed and biracial people to get on the platform as an attempt to see if they can have a respectable discussion and see if there any way they can try to resolve the issues. What I got out of it is that there is a great deal of division when it comes to the biracial and multiracial community. First of all, you have certain individuals that object to certain terminology, which is biracial, mulatto, MGNs, and what have you. So, for whatever it is worth, um, if there's going to be unity, you need to focus on unity within your own subgroups. Okay, if you're not able to unite within your own subgroups, I don't see how you're going to be able to unite with others who are mixed race and biracial. That is just my humble opinion, and I think everyone that's in this YouTube streets, they need to be true to themselves and be honest about why they're there. There has to be a certain accountability for actions. I'm not going to get into whose fault because first of all, I decided to remain neutral, and to me, all this stuff that's going on, it is an internal matter. So I'm gonna let all of them try to figure that out as far as that concerned. Okay, so that being said, we're gonna get into the main topic. Okay, now I have alluded to this topic briefly. What I did my stream regarding trying to bring sanity um, to the holiday season. where I had the pleasure of co-hosting it, having Denise Gonzalez as the co-host, and I also have discussed this in various virtual committee meetings with my union, and then explain to you, if you pardon the term, the genesis of it. Well, for many of us, the holidays from Thanksgiving to New Year's and Dia de los Reyes Magos, it's a happy time. It's a joyful time. First of all, we're with our families, we're our friends. We're also enjoying each other's company. We get to eat, drink, and we get to socialize and what have you. Nevertheless, for some people, this is not a very happy time. Okay. And I happen to know a couple of people who, unfortunately, they're celebrating their first Christmas um, without the physical presence of loved ones. Let me just state from the get go that my heart goes out to these people who are dealing with the first holidays without their family members, loved ones, close friends, and things of that nature. I'm not going to claim to understand what is your grief. I am not going to try to claim to understand how you're grieving because the fact of the matter is everyone grieves differently. Okay. And some people grieve um, outwardly, others grieve internally. Nevertheless, each individual should be allowed to deal with their grief um, in a manner that they choose fair, as long as they don't hurt themselves mentally, physically, or what have you. So, um, and like others, I have lost loved ones as well. Okay, and 1990 was the first Christmas without my older brother. 1997 was the first Christmas without the presence of my young grandnephew that was killed in a car accident. 2012 was the first Christmas without the physical presence of my father. Um, 2014 was the first Christmas without the physical presence of my younger brother, Jesus. 2015 was the first Christmas without my older brother, Albert. And 2020, which was in the midst of the COVID 19 pandemic, it was the first Christmas without the physical presence of my older sister, Doris, and my mom. So the fact of the matter is, it is for some people a painful time, and sometimes um, people don't have the urge to celebrate. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share an article. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to see. Just give me a moment, please. I'm for. Okay. Just give me a moment. These things do happen. Okay. Nope. That's That's not what I want to share. Just give me a moment. Okay. These things do happen sometimes, so please bear with me, please. Okay. Sometimes it takes a while. Okay. Okay, as you can see here, this is an article that I came across a source called Caring Bridge. Let me just move it up a little. Okay, so the name of the article is "How to Get Through the Holidays Without a Loved One." So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it, and I'm going to share this. Okay. While often advertised as a season of hope and happiness for those who lost loved ones, the holidays can bring overwhelming feelings of grief and loss. Whether it is your first holiday without your loved ones or many years have passed, you may be wondering just how you're going to make it through in one piece. We ask our community to share our stories about how they cope and honor loved ones during the holidays. We hope that their experiences offer a few ideas that you can use to bring a spark of hope into your holiday season. Okay, so I'm going to share with you certain things that can help you to deal with the grief, and, during the holidays. Number one, honor your loved one's memory. Okay, the holidays can be a time to remember your loved one and reflect on the memories that you shared. You may choose to honor their memory through special decorations, pictures, or gifts. Our community share many wonderful examples on how they choose to commemorate their loved ones. Now, as you can see here, there are certain people that share their ideas regarding how they were able to commemorate the lives of a loved one that passed away. Like this one that this person lost her father. She has special ornaments made with his father's name. Okay, and then another one. They also made pictures uh, of her daughter and a special ornament. Okay. And then another person said they made pillows for each of the four children of their father's golf shirts. Interesting. So, as you can see here, there are some creative ways where they can honor the memory of their loved ones that are no longer here physically. Now, here's someone. Uh, um, And I'm just going to share to you because it's similar to the fact I lost my mom 2.5 years ago. My mom passed away 3 months ago, and Christmas was our favorite time of the year. I found special collectible angels in May and angel snow for us in honor of her. Makes me feel love and close to her. Okay, so that's one way to help you to deal with, the loss of loved ones during the holiday season. Another thing, keep traditions alive. There might have been certain traditions that you have held with the one that's no longer here. So one way to deal with the grief is to keep those traditions alive, and in a sense, they are with you in spirit. Now, this is a person Let me just read to you what he wrote down. My wife passed away 9 years ago. We still hang her stockings by the fireplace. My kids used to write notes to her and put them in the stocking. They're still in there. We also like a candle on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I think it's very touching the way that they honor the memory of his wife and the mother of their children. And another person said that her and her sister would order Chinese food and order the type of food that their mother used to eat as a way to do it. Another thing that you can do is share memories. Um, the holidays often center around sharing delicious food. One way to remember your loved ones is by dedicating time to share memories as you gather for the meal. You can prepare a poem or a speech or share a favorite quote or Bible verse. You can also go around the table and ask everyone to share a few words on the favorite memory. Now, here, Nancy stated that she gave a toast in honor keeping the traditions intact, expressing gratitude for the gift of the person who passed away. Okay, which I think is very touching. Another person did was they light a candle at the table, and she asked if anyone was to say anything, or just a few words. Then they pray, and then they have their meal, and then they remove the candle. Okay. Now, another way. Now, mind you, let me just make this perfectly clear. What I'm doing is this is all suggestions. Okay. I'm not saying that you have to do all this. This is just suggestions on how to deal with grief um, during the holidays. So, okay. Another suggestion is support a cause close to them. You may find some sense of comfort in volunteering or decorating to a cause of your loved one supported. Giving back is known to provide feelings of happiness and satisfaction and can provide a bright spot when times feel dark. Okay, so one person actually what they did in memory of their father was donated to a food shop, which is I think is a very wonderful way because first of all you're providing food to people who are hungry and you're honoring um, the loved one that's no longer here physically. Now I'm going to share another. Okay. Now I'm just going to read to you what Patricia wrote down. I give to others because these special people who are no longer with me, my mother in law, Christine, and my daughter, Alisa, would have done the same thing if they were here. So I give in their memory and because God would want me to do so. So another thing. Now, next, another thing you can do is visit the memorial. Now, the fact of the matter is, some people may not be able to do this. It's not that they don't want to or they don't have the desire, but it's just for some people, it's too painful. Okay. Now, I'm going to share something that I have never shared before. Around the time of Mother's Day last year, Denise Gonzalez of Blunt Explaining did a piece regarding a shout out to the mothers. So we share our experiences regarding our mothers, and I share my experiences regarding my mother Gloria Negron. Unfortunately, I have not been able to look at that stream since it aired. It does that at this point at time. It is too fresh for me to remember, and it's very painful. And I'm still dealing with with our loss, and it's been 2.5 years. Um, our mother was basically the glue of the family, and the fact of the matter is, um, I still miss her to this day. I know that my mother is in a better place. Sometimes I do sense my mother's presence, and I just want to say for those of you who have lost their parents, my heart does go out to you. Like I say, I'm not going to claim to understand what I'm going through, because we must bear in mind, and again, we must bear in mind that everybody grieves differently, okay? And we should not criticize anyone who grieves differently. We should not get upset with people that if it's been 2, 3, 4 years since their loved one passed away, and we shouldn't ridicule their grief by telling them snap out of it. Life goes on, because we don't know what they're going through. Okay, and one thing we also have to bear in mind is that there is no expiration date when it comes to grief. And let me repeat it again so it will sink in. There is no expiration date when it comes to grief. The fact of the matter is, I'm going to continue with this knowledge regarding my mother's passing until the day when I depart and leave um, Earth for my final destination, which I believe will be in heaven. So, number 5 is visit their memorial. Some choose to dedicate part of the holidays visiting loved ones' resting place. You can bring flowers or a card if you wish, or anything else that would be meaningful. Now, again, as I stated before, um, some people may not be emotionally there to visit the gravesite. And I just want to say to these people, if you don't feel that you're at that stage when you can do so, don't try to force yourself to do so. I'm sure your loved ones will understand if you not at that stage where you are able to physically visit the gravesite. Okay. And I just want to say to those of you who that will ridicule these people for not being willing um, to visit the gravesite of loved ones, be very mindful, because the fact of the matter is we all have or will experience death multiple times. We will experience the death of our parents. We will experience the death of grandparents, of uncles, aunts, cousins. We may experience the death of siblings. And while no one likes to see this, we may also experience the death of children. So please bear in mind that everyone must be allowed to deal with their grief as they see fit. Now, here, one woman stated that her husband passed away October the 24th of 2016. And then every occasion, holiday, they take flowers to his resting place at the cemetery, which I think is very sweet. And again, and I really do believe I need to stress this. Don't visit the gravesite if you're not emotionally able to do so. Okay. I don't think you going to the graveside and then you're getting emotional, getting upset, and you cannot deal with it. I don't think you're honoring your loved ones. Do it when you're emotionally ready. That is the whole point. Okay. So now we're gonna move to the next thing, which is choose what's best for you. This is something I've been talking about all this time because not everyone is going through the same process. Not everyone grieves in the same way, which is something that we must bear in mind. Okay. There is no cookie cutter way on how to deal with grief. Okay. And also, I want to let people know that earlier this year, I think it was around May or June, I did a stream regarding not to say to a person that's grieving. I would suggest that if you have the opportunity, you take a look at that stream and you see for yourself. Because unfortunately, we mean well in trying to console um, our friends and our loved ones. Unfortunately, at times we have said stupid things, we have said inappropriate things. Not out of malice, it's that sometimes we are at a loss of what we should say, and we try to find the words in order to console our friends, our loved ones, and sometimes out of sheer ignorance, we say things that are not okay. So let me just read to you what this article says. There may be lots of suggestions on how to spend your holidays. Remember that you do not have to do anything you are not comfortable with, or you don't have the energy or the desire to do. This may mean skipping the celebration this year or only visiting an hour or two. It could mean surrounding yourself with all of your friends and family, or it may mean gathering with a smaller, very close group. Listen to your body and mind and give yourself and loved ones what you need this holiday season. Now, this is a very important point, and I'm glad that's being brought out. Um, because unfortunately, what we have the tendency of doing is we try to pretend everything's okay when everything is not okay, and the fact of the matter is people are grieving, and sometimes we may not feel comfortable um, sharing our grief or sharing, acknowledge the fact that we are grieving. You're not doing yourself any favors by hiding or ignoring how you feel. Okay. And let me just say this: if you do feel like crying, by all means do so. Because I truly believe that sometimes there's healing in tears. God does heal people through tears. Okay. And also, we must bear in mind, actually, when Jesus went to visit Lazarus in the tomb, he cried, he wept at the tomb of Lazarus. Now we're talking about the Son of God, okay, who actually raised Lazarus to new life. And even with that, being the Son of God himself, he wept. So if it's okay for Jesus Christ to weep, it's okay for you and me to weep. And shame on you and anyone that try to stop these people from weeping. Okay? It's a part of the grieving process. And again, everyone deals with grief differently. And sometimes people deal with the grief by not showing any emotions or not wanting to discuss it. So that's something we all need to bear in mind, and we must be respectful with everyone and how they choose to grieve. Okay, so let me just scroll down. Okay. Now, the question is, how do you honor and remember your loved one? Hearing on what others are going through can help us feel less alone, and we're always open to hearing more experiences. If you okay, and here's something that's very important: do not go through your health journey alone. You can stay connected with friends and family and plan and coordinate meals and experiences love from any distance. Okay, so what what I'm getting out of this is this. Okay, don't feel embarrassed to acknowledge the fact that you are grieving. Don't be embarrassed to acknowledge the fact that you're still hurting. And reach out to people who can um, give you support. It could be your spouse, it could be your children, it could be your friends, your neighbors. If you belong to a place of worship, it could be the clergy, it could be your rabbi, your priest, your minister, your imam, or if you go to a Hindu temple, whoever is has the spiritual leadership of that place of worship. And of course, if you do need to reach out to a therapist, by all means, do so. Okay, now, let me just stop sharing this. Okay, so I have stated this before and I'll state it again. Um, Here in New York City, we have a place called NYC Wow, when people can go get counseling regarding how people deal with grief. I happen to know that my dear friend and union sister Keisha has gone through rough times. She have had to experience the death of two of her cousins, and you know, I've tried to reach out and just let her know that you know it's okay to grieve as you see fit. There is no shame if you need to cry. There is no shame if you need to yell and scream. There is no shame if you need to be alone. And okay, just whatever you do, just be mindful that um, they are resources. And I'm not just talking to Keisha. I'm talking about anyone that that's dealing with the loss of loved ones. There are many, and again, there are many resources where you can go um, to seek counseling. Okay, now I don't know how counseling services are done in your local city, but um, many large employers they do have what's called the Employment Assistance Program, EAP, where you are able to get in contact with therapy and to help you to deal with all the emotional trauma that's involved regarding the death of a loved one. Okay. Um, and again, here in New York City, we have NYC Well, which is 1-800 NYC Well. You can call this number. You can request therapy. What they will do is they'll do an initial intake with you. They're going to ask you regarding what is your mental state. They are going to ask you though, and it's not meant to scare anybody. One of the things they're going to ask you is that have you thought about possibly hurting yourself or deleting yourself? Okay. It's not meant to shame. It's not meant to embarrass you. It's just that they're trying to get a proper assessment as far as what it is that you need. And thing that I you need to be honest with the therapy um, regarding what you're going through emotionally and mentally. And I um, compare that when you go to see a physician. When you go see a physician, what you're going to explain to the doctor is what are the symptoms that you are experiencing. And then, based on that information, the doctor will give you a course of action that it be needed to be followed in order to deal with the condition. It could be taking medication, it could be a change in diet, it could be many things. So, the whole, okay, good evening, good afternoon, Ramon. Thank you very much for stopping by. Yeah, okay, you know what, I hear you. And again, my heart does go out to you with the fact of the matter is you're dealing with the first holidays without the presence of your mom. I'm not going to claim to understand what you are going through, okay? Because again, that will assume I understand your level of grief. And again, I think people need to be okay. And I think, and again, people need to understand that everybody grieves differently. And let me just state this again, everyone grieves differently, okay? And we should not criticize anyone that does the grief differently, okay? What we can do is that let them know that we are available should they wish to discuss it. Also, let them vent if they so. Okay, okay. And I see there's another comment. Okay, the reason why I don't claim to understand, even though I too lost my mom, is because the plain simple fact everybody grieves differently. And I don't want to belittle anyone's grief by claiming to understand your loss. So that's the reason why I'm very hesitant to say that I understand what a person going through when they're going through a loss, because everyone grieves differently. Okay, and I don't want to be insensitive uh, in regards to the grief that other people go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the link again. If anyone wishes to join the panel and express their point of view, that's perfectly fine. I also understand that there might be some people that may not feel comfortable to get on the panel and to share their grief. So I just want to make it perfectly clear. If you have experienced the loss of a loved one and you don't feel comfortable getting on the panel, and if you prefer to enter your comments in the chat, that's fine. If you choose not to or to simply listen in the background, that's perfectly fine. Okay, because I don't want people to feel I don't want people to feel obligated to express their point of view. Now, I do see that there's 7 people um, watching the stream. If we can get 7 likes, it would be great. Okay, and it doesn't cost you anything. It does help my algorithm, and and I understand that not everyone feels comfortable discussing this topic because reality is this: people would rather focus on, going out and having parties and eating and drinking and and breaking bread with loved ones. So I can understand why people are hesitant to discuss this issue. I just um, I sense in my spirit that it was needed to discuss this because the fact of the matter is we are all going to experience the loss of a loved one if we have not done so already. Which brings one thing, um, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I think I will. If you have any beefs or disagreements, or you've been alienated by individuals, whether it be friends, loved ones, or what have you, um, if you can, try to be reconciled with them. And let me explain to you the why. The worst thing you can do is you have um, a conflict with someone, and you don't try to resolve it, and that person dies. So, therefore, there is no chance to resolve whatever conflicts that existed. And then you have to think about all the opportunities that you could have taken to resolve the issue, but because of pride or because of other circumstances, you chose not to. Mind you, you have to be at that state emotionally to do so. And like I said, it's not an easy topic, and somehow I don't think anyone um, may wish to join the panel. And again, that's perfectly fine. Um, Also, I want to let everybody know that even after the stream is over, if you wish to enter a comment after the stream regarding your with the holiday season without the physical presence of a loved one, by all means do so. Please keep it respectable, okay? And do not criticize anyone who do see regarding um, how they deal with grief. Okay. So this is going to be for me another Christmas, New Year's, um, Dia de los Reyes Magos without the physical presence of my father, my mother, my brother George, my brother Albert, my brother Jesus, my sister Doris, and my grandnephew Christopher. However, they all are in a better place, and their spirit lives on. on the lives of all of us who love them. So, so my final, well, what what I will say to all of you who are grieving, and I see here we got somebody. So before we continue, I just want to let everybody know that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host on the channel is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views that people might hold may be considered offensive to others. If you don't like the content, you can block the channel. Okay. ¿Cómo está?
Hey, don José, ¿cómo está?
Muy bien. I know for a lot of people, this is a difficult topic. It's just that I sense in my spirit it needed to be discussed.
Yeah. No, I understand because there are many people, many people during this time of the year that for different reasons, they might be feeling somewhat depressed and they might be feeling down, they might be feeling lonely for whatever the reason. It's not necessarily kind of like the reason that somebody like you and me will share. But there are other people that might be just alone. They might be just alone. They might be not going through the best relationship situation, and they are feeling alone. And being at this time of the year doesn't help. It doesn't help them.
No,
That's understandable because I have felt it before for a whole different reason than what I'm dealing with right now. I mean, I'm just trying to maintain, um, trying to keep my mind as stable as possible by keeping it occupied in other things. So I don't go back into thinking about that one reason that has been beating me up this year. I can't. It's not something that I can get rid of, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let it win because there are people that can become so distraught and that they might be thinking about not wanting to be here anymore. And that thought has crossed my mind. You understand that? You understand that? But I'm not gonna let it win. It's not gonna beat me. I'm not gonna let it win. And that's why I'm kind of like getting involved into other things, being in contact with more with other people, trying to get a project going, like I'm doing right now, something that have been postponing for so long. Uh, for different reasons because I'm always trying to do for others, but I have to do for myself now. So that's something that is actually giving me some semblance, kind of like a little bit of excitement, something to look forward to, and that's what I'm working on, trying to give myself something or some things to look forward to. I mean, I do plan to continue. I'm trying to look forward. I'm trying to look as to a better 2023 because this year has been shit. So it's part of my French, but it's been ish. So that's what I'm on. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working on. Trying to keep myself
yeah. Well,
mentally as stable as possible.
well, like I said before, look, let me tell you something. There's a lot of things I'm not going to miss regarding 2022. Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, I did a stream the other night regarding the things we're not gonna miss. But
Hmm.
look, I think when it comes to the holidays, we need to be honest with ourselves, and
Hmm.
there's going to be times when we're going to feel sad. Okay, that's something that's understandable. That's why I keep saying, I keep harping on the belief there is no expiration date regarding grief. You can go on 50 years grieving the loss of a loved one. And that's
Yeah.
something we're going to carry until the day that we die. What's the difference is how we deal with the grief, which is why I share the article, share some suggestions. And again, this is only suggestions on my part on how to deal with grief, because
Yeah.
we're going to be dealing with it, like it or not.
Hmm. No, no, and on top of the suggestions that you were giving, I would like to add my own as to what I just said. Like,
Hmm.
keep your mind occupied with other things. Keep your mind occupied with something that maybe you have been postponed, that you have been wanting to do. Maybe try to get into that so you can take your mind off of that is affecting you. Uh, and go at it hard, and throw yourself into it. I mean, it might be
Yeah.
something that has to do with your work. It might be something that has to do with a hobby that you haven't done in a while. There is nothing wrong with that. If it takes your mind off of that is afflicting you and bringing you down, it's okay. It's okay. Try to do that something that you used to like, that maybe it will help, or maybe go on a kind of like on a trip, maybe not necessarily going on a trip to another country, but maybe just to another city, seeing another place, doing something different than the usual. That might actually work also. But the thing is,
Yes.
take yourself that same environment that is only gonna compound the grief. I mean, maybe you just need to see other things. Yeah,
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
I agree.
Doing something different that may help.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I agree. And also, our friend Keisha also has experienced the death of two of her cousins this year. In fact, she had a cousin that died on Thanksgiving, which is even worse.
Yeah. She says something about that. It was a very sudden thing. It was a very sudden thing. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, look, when you think about it, that's something that we cannot avoid. I know. I mean, and unfortunately, we're going to experience other deaths within our respective families and spheres. Okay, and some of them it's going to be very painful. Okay,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
one thing to just bear in mind is that you need to be honest with yourself with what you're feeling. You cannot be hiding or suppressing your feelings. And if you feel like crying, by all means do so. If you feel like isolating yourself briefly, do so. If you feel like surrounding yourself with friends and what have you, do so. The bottom line is you got to do whatever you need to do for your own mental sanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so I
Yeah.
mean, so and so this year I was fortunate because I did my Christmas shopping weeks ago. So it's
Ah, good, good.
it gave me
Hmm.
opportunity to reflect, to take stock of my life, seeing where areas I need to improve, and also think about what I want to do for um, the new year. I do plan to spend La Noche Buena, hopefully with one of my nieces or with one
Hmm.
of my siblings. I don't plan to spend it alone. Um, and But some people might feel better spending alone. It's totally up to them.
Yeah, it's an individual thing. It might be how to spend in Noche Buena. How different people like to spend Noche Buena. It's up to them. Yeah, how it is better for them. Hmm. That's right.
Well, speaking speaking about that, that's going to be the stream for tomorrow stream. I'm going to be sharing regarding La Noche Buena and some of the things that we observe. Um, you know, it's just that when you need. you need something positive to discuss. And I'm going to do something I have never done before. On
Hmm.
Monday, I'm going to be sharing some humorous moments regarding my platform.
Uh, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
I'll watch
So
that.
I've been going through a few of my streams. So definitely I'm going to be sharing some highlights regarding the last stream that Denise appeared regarding how to bring sanity um, during the holidays. I'm probably going to bring up some humorous portions regarding the time I interviewed you.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm definitely going to share something about a stream that I did last year regarding um, how to deal with how to deal with the holidays, and of course, I'm going to be talking about my favorite subject, the cold.
Well, you can have that one because you're not gonna like what I would say about the cold. I mean, I avoid it like the plague because to me, it's like a plague. It's something that tries to overcome you, and it could kill you if you don't watch it. So cold to me is like a plague. That's how I
Well,
look at it. Hmm.
well, of course, I'm the complete opposite. To me, it's
I know,
like, I mean,
I know.
I look at the cold like the arrival of a loved one.
No, no, no. That's how I look at the when it warms up. That's how I look at it. That's something that I welcome. Not the cold. The cold, it, no, it's detrimental to my health. To my health. Not it being hot. Okay, if it's hot, I'll sweat a little bit. I'll shower, cool myself down, and keep it moving. That's fine. But cold can kill you.
No,
Yeah.
all you gotta look. All you gotta do is just like you know, wear like maybe like a hat and a coat, and drink some hot coffee or some hot tea when you get
Mm,
home, and
mm-hmm.
just do it.
No, 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 no. You know what I stand on that. So you can have it. You want the call, you can have it. I don't want it.
Well, I don't want to be selfish about it.
No, you can be selfish on this. On this, you can be selfish all you want because I don't want it. Not for me. Yep. Oh yeah.
Well, you know, I have never done this before, so
Hmm.
hopefully my Wi-Fi will cooperate. I mean, today I'm
Uh-huh.
not having any problems at all.
Well, that's good. Maybe it has to do with the time of day. I mean, if you might be doing a stream at a time when there is more traffic because of different users. That could be a factor. So maybe that could have something to do with it. The time of
That's
the day, the time that you use. Because if you're doing that, let's say if you're trying to do a stream, say on a Friday evening, a lot of people are doing streams on a Friday evening, so that could congest the information superhighway, and it could cause a jam, and it could slow it down. So that may be a factor. That's a thing. That is a thing. Hmm.
okay. Well, it's possible. I mean, when you think about it, lately there doesn't seem to be a lot of traffic when it comes to people doing streams. I mean,
Yeah.
there've been nights when there've been like 4 or 5 different um, YouTube creators that I supported doing streams at the same time,
Hmm.
and that could be a challenge, particularly for microscopic channels like ours to try to get
Yeah.
get some traction or what have you.
Definitely. Yep. Yeah, it could be.
So yeah. Mhm. But at this point, I just simply decided, you know what? I'm gonna do my streams, okay? And there have been streams where I've gotten a lot of people who watch them, and I gotten streams that people don't watch it, and some people watching on the playback. So it is what it is. And to be perfectly fair, I didn't. I mean, I mainly sent a link to the people in our collective on Instagram because let's keep it real. On a Saturday afternoon, people are doing chores or people
Mm-hmm.
are doing their last minute Christmas shopping, what have you. And
Yeah.
some people may not feel comfortable with the topic.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
which is why my next two streams I'm trying to um, make it more not as serious,
Mm-hmm.
because first of all, because let's keep it a buck. When you mention someone who's not Spanish dominant regarding non-moral brand, there, it's like, what is that? And it just need to be patient and explain to them that for us it's an important night because it's a night where we're with family, we're eating benin, we're eating you know arroz con gandules, we're eating all that good
Mm-hmm.
food and what have you. And we're having a little
Mm-hmm.
coquito, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I had to make me
you
some
know
some coquito. Yep.
and also don't forget the dancing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't do partying like that like I used to, but yeah. Yeah. There are people that still go out and have a good time. Use the holidays as a time for celebration. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
Now, I just happen to know one of my nieces actually makes coquito. So what I plan to do is buy some for my niece, so I can,
Hmm.
have a little. It doesn't hurt to indulge once in a blue moon. Um,
Yeah.
Now, for the benefit of those of our audience who are not Spanish dominant, coquito is an alcoholic beverage that we drink on the holiday. Um,
Hmm.
how would you describe coquito? It's kind of like the Spanish version of eggnog.
No, no, better than eggnog. Better than eggnog. There are people. The egg in eggnog is because the eggnog has egg in it. Now there are people that make coquito with egg. Not everybody, because it doesn't need it. I mean, you just you just kind of like you got the coconut cream. You got the condensed milk, the carnation milk, um, some vanilla extract, and cinnamon, and you mix it up. You can mix it up in a blender and rum. But the amount of rum that you put on it, it depends on how you like it. It depends on how hot you like it. I mean, so that's a variable. That's a variable measure. Anything else is either one kind of it or uh, kind of like a teaspoon, like a teaspoon of it, kind of like with the vanilla extract or the cinnamon. But when it comes to the condensed milk and the coconut cream and the carnation milk, you use a can of each. Now, the amount of rum that you put in it, it depends on how you like it. That's the variable. So it's good. It's really good.
Okay.
Mix it up, blend it, and put it in a glass bottle and chill it. Put it in the fridge.
Okay. Now, also, I plan to go to my old neighborhood because I think there's a couple places when I can buy some pasteles.
Okay, okay. No, that's good. That's good. If you can find some pasteles up there, yeah, just don't put ketchup on it. Don't disrespect it. You
No,
can't be
no,
putting ketchup on that thing. No.
no. You know what? You know what I'll do? I'll put ranch dressing on it.
Jose, what the hell? Are you gonna put? You're talking about salad dressing, ranch dressing?
Yes.
Jose, stop. You don't. You're supposed to boil it on salt water, but and that's it. You don't put ketchup, much less ranch dressing. What the hell? I
Or
know, I
maybe
know you feel compelled to Americanize it, but ranch dressing, no.
or maybe peanut butter.
Okay, that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
I mean, come on, you need to be adventurous at times.
Adventurous. No, I don't want to. No, when it comes to that, when it comes to pasteles, I don't want to adventurous. I want the way it's supposed to be. Mm. Yep.
No, but you know what? I don't know, why do people put ketchup on pasteles? I don't understand it.
Because, well, I don't think that happens on the island. That's an American thing. I've never seen it. I never saw it. People on the island putting ketchup on pasteles. I never saw such a thing. That's something that happens over here in the States.
Okay. You know what? Maybe I'll do a video of me eating pasteles with ranch dressing.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's gonna be revolting. No, no, don't do it.
Well, you gotta admit, you're probably going to get a lot of views.
Yeah, people are gonna have like the puking emoji on the comments. No,
No, people might people might say yummy, 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 yummy,
no,
yummy.
no, 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 no. Hell no. Hell no. Nah, nah. Oh,
You know what I
no.
haven't eaten? You know what I haven't eaten in a long time? Acapulco as well.
Nobody makes a capurria, so open the
You
bronze
know
and
what?
all.
You know what? I think where in my own neighborhood, there's a couple places that make it. So I'll probably like make sure that I buy some acapulco and pasteles. Actually, next week I'm on vacation.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Well, if you want the
So
real
I got this.
acapurria, you want the real acapurria experience, go to Puerto Rico and go to Piñones. Kind of like the
Okay.
the kind of like the kiosk or the food places in Piñones or maybe at Luquillo Beach, where all of the there is a line of kiosks that sell beach food. You can get your fill of alcapurrias there.
Okay. Hey, how about ranch dressing with acapulco?
Okay, okay, that's it. That's it. No, no, nobody does that. Nobody does that.
I'm sorry. You know, it's just I just trying to have a little fun.
That's disgusting.
I mean, look, let me tell you something. If people, well, some people may think otherwise, but I gotta be different.
Okay, that's fine.
No, but on a serious note, I do plan to buy some, or maybe my niece might make some prosthetics. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but I'm definitely gonna buy some a bottle of coquito. If nothing else, have a little
Four to
something.
three vote, a victory for voter.
Hmm.
Have a little something. You know, now, now of course there's Christmas and then there's New Year's. So one thing I might do is I might spend Christmas Eve with one niece and then New Year's Eve with another niece. It all depends how things go. Because I am not trying to spend the holidays by myself if I can avoid it. Now I know some people would prefer, but that's totally up to them.
Okay,
So
entiendo, entiendo.
Okay. Um, I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch the stream earlier when I was sharing some suggestions how to deal with grief during the holidays.
I will have to catch the playback on that, but I added a couple of my own, and
Yeah.
definitely whoever is listening, listen to the whole thing and listen to Jose's suggestions, and you can take the my suggestions too, if that whatever
Yeah.
helps, whatever helps. Hmm.
Yeah. And again, let me just make this perfectly clear. I'm not claiming to be a mental health expert. Neither is
Yeah.
Ramon. Okay. So I'm just sharing some suggestions to help you to deal with grief. Um, if you forget everything else regarding what the stream is about,
Hmm.
please bear in mind,
Hmm.
it's something that we all deal with, and you need to be honest with yourself with what you are experiencing. And everyone grieves differently,
Hmm.
and there's no expiration date. And by
Yeah.
all means, do not let anyone to shame you for not feeling grief because we all handle grief differently. And I think we can both agree on that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, different people can approach it in a different manner. Yeah, definitely. Hmm.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and if you feel comfortable discussing it with a close friend or a family member, that person that you can count on or that's reliable, by all means do so. But don't be compelled to share if you don't feel like sharing. And
Hmm.
okay, so Ramon, I know you're sick and tired of me asking you this question, but when you gonna be doing another stream?
If I don't do one tonight, then maybe tomorrow. I'm thinking about doing something. So yeah, I know. Consistency. I don't do it. I've been having my mind on other things that have nothing to do with YouTube. So yeah, let me see if I can make a little time and do something and kind of like have people come up so we can have a hangout. We'll see. It's gonna be soon. I believe it's gonna be soon.
Yeah, I agree. Well, like I said, Monday I'm gonna be going over some of the funnier moments on my platform,
Hmm.
and you gotta admit, there have been some funny moments.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it will. It will. It will. It will. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to go over some of the funny moments. Um, and one thing I do want to make this clear because some people might get triggered.
Hmm.
Okay, because unfortunately we live in these YouTube streets that people get triggered over nothing. The whole point of Monday's stream is not to ridicule anyone.
Hmm.
Okay, what is the whole
Yeah.
point is to share some of the humorous moments on my platform. And Ramon, you gotta admit there have been some humorous moments on my platform.
Yeah. 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 I remember one in particular, but I'm gonna see if you feature it, if you show it on your stream. Yeah.
What
Yeah, that have been money.
would you to share? What is that? Would you like to share what is that stream you're talking about?
Yeah. It was one time when you were having an issue with your Wi-Fi, and yeah, I was making a joke about it that it was because it was because your standard dial-up wasn't working right, and and then and then you cut out of the stream, and and Denise and I were laughing about it. I thought that was funny. That one was hilarious. I mean, so I don't know what
Yeah,
was happening with your with your connection then. Mhm.
We will see. I'm not going to make it an absolute promise, but I'm definitely going to be sharing some of the humorous moments from the last stream that Unique was on. I'm probably going to
Mhm.
share some humorous moments when I interview you. I'm probably going to
Yeah.
share some humorous moments when I interview Denise. And now the reason why for this disclaimer, because I'm going to be sharing some humorous moments regarding the shout out to the fathers.
Mhm.
Okay. And again, and I actually put it in the description of the Colin Show. It's not meant to ridicule anybody, but it's just that look, there are some funny moments of my platform. Okay. And the whole point is for us to laugh.
Mhm. Right.
And and speaking about laughter, do you remember? Do you remember the stream that Gigi did when I had my issue with sacrifice and I actually cursing out?
Yeah, yeah. I remember.
Well,
Yeah, I remember.
it seems like GD unloaded it again.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so basically, for those of you who did not see the change, I mean, I was not having a good time with Zacharias because he kept running his mouth when Gigi was trying to
Mhm.
deal with technical issues. And then he just kept going on and on and on. And I said, and I quote, I'm going to get off the effing platform.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I remember. I remember.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I got to admit, I, I got to admit, that was not my usual form, but life goes on. So I'm going to be sharing some scenes of that. Like I said before, and to those who've seen it again, and I'm going to repeat it again, the whole point is not to ridicule anyone. That's not my point. That's not the, it's just that it's funny when you think about it. We all laugh. You laugh, I laugh. Denise was cracking up like crazy.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Yeah.
and you, and the fact of the matter is, we do need to have be able to laugh now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. We do. Yeah.
But is there anything else that you wish to share regarding the topic? Because I wasn't planning to do this more than 16 minutes. It's because I didn't think, to be perfectly honest, I didn't think anyone would pop up.
Ah. No, no. Actually, basically, I'm just sharing what is it that I'm doing to keep myself mentally stable. I mean, so I don't fall into depression. I'm just basically that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing that is working for me. But what works for me not necessarily will work for others. So they can take on the other suggestions that you were sharing and go by that. Go from there. And if necessary, if they might need additional help, then they should seek professional help. But aside from that, that's it. That's it. That's all I got. And also, I'm gonna be stepping out because there is something I have to take care of. But again, once again, I appreciate you, Jose, for letting me be part of your panel. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got, basically. I mean,
Well,
hmm
well, I appreciate you popping up, and also appreciating your situation because you're still dealing with the loss of your mom. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
and it's just that this is the first without her. So I just want you to that I do feel for you. Like I said, I'm not going to claim to understand your grief because everyone grieves differently.
Yeah, yeah. No, but you do understand to a degree. I mean, you haven't been through that same experience. You do understand to a degree. So it's not like you don't. You do understand. But once again, Don Jose, I appreciate you letting me be on your panel. I'm gonna be stepping off now, and you keep doing your thing. You keep doing your thing with your streams and your consistency. I have to take an example off of it so I can be more consistent with some streams. So let's see what happens later on, either today or tomorrow. I might do something. Make sure to let everybody know.
Well, just to let you know, I'm going to be on tomorrow night as well.
Okay, okay. No, that's good. That's good. No problem. No problem at all.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for stopping by, and
Hmm.
hopefully, I'll see you either um, tomorrow or another stream in the near future.
All right. I appreciate you having me. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay. So let me just give you my take in regards to the situation. And I do appreciate the fact that there's 7 people watching the stream. So it does tell me that there is definitely some interest regarding it. Let me just give you like a recap. Um, as I stated from the beginning, uh, for many of us, the holidays is a happy time. It's a joyous time because with loved ones and we're with friends and neighbors and we're enjoying good company, we're enjoying good food. Uh, we are also creating some positive memories that we're going to cherish going into the new year. Unfortunately, for some of us, this is not a happy time. For quite a few of us, this is the first holiday season without the presence of our loved ones. And sometimes it could be overbearing for some people to deal with. So, the whole purpose of this stream is simply to share with you some things to consider. And I see here we have the presence of Reese from Philadelphia. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I do appreciate all the support and love that you've given me. The topic is how to deal with grief during the holidays. And it's something we all have to deal with at one point or another. Okay. So what I did was earlier in the stream, I shared some suggestions regarding how to help you to deal with grief. Okay. Also, I share with all of you a limited degree my personal experiences in regards to me myself dealing with grief during the holidays because unfortunately I had experienced the death of several members of my family. Now, in the case of my parents, my father was 83 years old when he passed away, and my mother was 86 when she passed away. And as far as my siblings are concerned, all of them were relatively young. My oldest sister was 68 when she passed away. My older brother was 56 when he passed away. My oldest brother was 36 when he passed away. My younger brother was 49 when he passed away. And my grandnephew was 22 when he was killed in an automobile accident. So several times I had to experience the the holiday season um, without the physical presence of a loved one. What does help me is the fact that I am honest with what I feel. I am honest regarding my own personal experiences. There have been days when I have to admit I have cried. There have been days when I felt lonely. There have been days that I felt sad. So the whole point of the stream is to give all of those who are experiencing the loss of a loved one a word of encouragement. And I just want to let all of you know my intention is not to open up any wounds. It is not to cause anyone any grief. And if for some reason any one of you feel grieved with this stream, I just want you to understand this was not my intention. And I do apologize if people get offended or hurt. The whole purpose of this stream was to share some things to help you to deal with the grief of a loved one. That's been the whole purpose of this stream. And I'm glad that Ramon was able to stop by and share his point of view. Because, like him, he also is experiencing the first Christmas without his mom. And I just want to give a huge shout out and a big thank you for all those who did appear um, on the chat. People like Keisha, Ramon, and Reese from Philly. And I just want to thank Ramon for graciously appearing on my platform and share his own words. So I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to be doing a stream tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and the topic will be Na Noche Buena, which literally translated into English, the good night. So I'm going to be sharing some of the things that we do, okay, regarding the good night or La Noche Buena, which is on Christmas Eve. So going into next week, the streams which I will be doing, um, the first two streams, one tomorrow's stream will be dealing with La Noche Buena. Monday, I'm going to be sharing some of my humorous moments on the platform. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to be discussing, do mainland Puerto Ricans or mainland Latinos have an identity crisis? And then on Christmas Eve, I'm going to give my Christmas Eve message. Basically, it's a message to the uncommon folk, wishing them all a happy, safe, and blessed holiday season. So, that being said, I'm going to ask again, if you have not done so, please subscribe to Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And whenever you do enter the stream or watch it on the playback, please give it a like and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. And of course, all of you are welcome to enter comments after the stream is over. So that being said, I thank all of you for allowing me to enter into your devices for a little bit of time. And just remember, you're not alone dealing with the grief. And just take it easy on yourself. So, that being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Hossein Negron. And I wish all of you a happy day, a blessed day, and just be good to each other. Take care.
Be strong.